Hi, my name is Kaolin Young. I am a 200-hour registered yoga teacher, and you can find me here at Sundura Sanctuary. You can also find me at the Prescott YMCA, at Gripstone Climbing Gym, and at Bend Hot Yoga in Prescott. And today we're going to be focusing on opening up the shoulders. So we're going to give you a few moves that you can use at home, a short routine to help you relax, broaden your chest, maybe correct your posture, and in general feel better hopefully than you do right now. So we're going to get started in child's pose. Child's pose on your mat with your big toes to touch behind you, your knees out wide to the side if that feels okay, maybe with your knees closer together, and lay your arms out long on your mat. And from here you'll take a few deep breaths. Maybe if your knees are wide, sink your hips down towards your heels. Feel the stretch across the tops of your thighs here, across the tops of your feet. Let your chest fall toward the mat. Rest your forehead. If you need to, you can even take a block and rest your forehead there, depending on how tight your shoulders are. So big breath in, fill your lungs. Full breath out, soften in your body. We'll take a few more breaths here. And then from here, we're going to open up the chest a little bit more. So you'll take 2 blocks or a bolster or something like that, something to rest your elbows on. You probably take your knees a little bit closer to each other, and you're going to place your elbows on the blocks. And then from here, hands together, and you let your chest drop down between or toward the floor. Your head drops down between your biceps. You might need to make a couple of adjustments. Here, you want your hips off your heels. So big breath in, fill up. On your exhale, soften, let your chest fall toward the mat. Breathing into your chest, maybe even sending breath between your shoulder blades. Doing your best to relax in your shoulders rather than tightening up. The other option to this is puppy dog pose, which may feel better to you. You can extend your arms long. You'll keep your hips off your heels, and again, let your chest come down toward the floor. For some people, the forehead touches. For some, the chin. For some, the chest. But either way, either one of those variations will work. And then from here, you'll walk your hands back in. Find yourself in tabletop. So in tabletop, with your wrists under your shoulders and your knees under your hips, you'll find your neutral spine, which means the crown of your head is drawing forward, your hips drawing back, your belly button's drawing in. So the tendency here is to sink into your shoulders and let your belly drop until your pelvis. But what we want to do is lengthen that spine. So belly draws in, shoulders press down and away, shoulder blades together. From here, we're going to thread the needle. So you'll take a breath in, take your right arm out to the side, about parallel with the floor, full breath. On your exhale, you'll send that right arm, the back of your hand, underneath your left armpit. Rest it on the floor, rest your head on the mat so your hips stay lifted. As you rest here, you might find that there's a little too much pressure in your head and your neck, and you'll know that just from instinct. If you feel that that's the case, you'll take your hips a little closer to your heels, bring a little more weight into your lower body. And then from here, relax your head. Try to keep your shoulder from creeping up toward your ear, so draw it away from your ear. And then a couple arm variations here. You can take your left arm forward. You can take your left arm around your back, maybe reach for your right hip crease, and open up this other shoulder. Big deep breath. And from here, take that hand back. Unwind, arm out to the side, and then back down, and we'll go to the other side here. Left arm comes out, parallel, full breath, and then thread the needle the opposite way. Same options here with your right arm forward or your hand behind. Just be sure that you can take a deep breath while you're there. You want your breath to drive the posture instead of trying to place yourself in a shape and adding the breath later. So big, deep breath all the time. From here, walk your hands forward, up onto your toes. You can lower to your knees if you need to, but we're gonna lower down onto our bellies for low cobra. So from here, your hands underneath your shoulders. You're gonna press the toenail beds of your feet into the mat. You're gonna engage your legs so that your kneecaps lift. Press your pelvis into the floor. And just with a little bit of weight, maybe even no weight in your hands, you'll draw your chest forward. So a lot of times what happens when we're at a computer all day and our shoulders close in, the muscles in the front get really short. We're gonna try to strengthen the muscles in the back that have become long. So engage your upper back, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Big deep breath. And then from here, if you're ready, maybe you come up to cobra. You'll press into your hands, keep your elbows drawing back along your ribs, and draw your heart forward here. So you're leaving your pelvis on the floor, elbows pinned in, elbows draw back, heart draws forward. Try to keep your shoulders from crunching up towards your ears here. Lots of space in your neck. Lower back down. From here, we'll press back. Come to a kneeling position or seated, whatever's comfortable on your legs and your hips. From here, we'll take eagle arms. Right arm under the left, palms to face, to touch each other. From here, draw your shoulder blades together down your back, and then lift your elbows to shoulder height. Big deep breath here. So we're setting ourselves up in our shoulders, but you don't want to forget about your core here. It can kind of fall forward, and then you end up with a sore low back. So you're still have a neutral spine, drawing your core in, but finding the stretch across the tops of your shoulders, between your shoulder blades. Take a big breath in. Full breath out. Go ahead and unwind, and we'll take the other side. Left arm comes under this time. Palms to touch. Big breath in, fill up. Full breath out. Press your shoulder blades together, shoulders away from your ears. Take your elbows up to shoulder height. And go ahead and unwind. From here, we're going to stay seated, although you could do this in a standing forward fold if you chose. You'll take your hands behind your back. You can clasp them together like this. If you can open up your chest. If that's a little too difficult, you can also grab for opposite forearms. And even if that's a little too difficult, you can take a strap to bring your hands together behind you. And any width of the strap that works, that will draw your shoulders open. And we're just going to sit and breathe this way for a few breaths, drawing your shoulder blades together, shoulders down away from your ears. Again, your core stays engaged. Lifting your heart on your inhale, pressing your shoulders down and away, shoulder blades together on your exhale. Again, your breath is your friend here, so even as you breathe, you can feel the sensations and the stretch change. So even if you can't clasp your hands together, you're still finding a little bit of dynamic movement with your breath. So after a few breaths with that chest opener, then we'll go ahead and finish off our little routine here in Shavasana. If you can find a blanket and roll it up, we're going to place this underneath the spine. Sit right in front of that blanket and lay your spine all the way down. Extend your legs. So with the support of the blanket along your spine, it just allows your chest to open, taking a passive stretch through the short muscles across the front. Let your body sink into the mat. If you have the time, spend a few minutes here. Sometimes the passive stretches are the ones that work the best. Feel free to stay here as long as you'd like. Namaste.